Today we're going to do an install video on how to install the higher voltage taillight kit. Included in the kit will come with a main harness, a blackout switch button, the wheelie light switch, the tail light, and then all the necessary hardware you will need. We're going to start off by installing the blackout switch. It'll go onto these two screws right here below your screen. You're going to need a 5mm to take those out. Route your wire through this bracket below the screen and then to the right. You don't need to get these too tight either. You don't want to crack that headlight switch mounting bracket. The next step is going to be removing this headlight plastic. You're going to need a 4mm Allen to take out the 4 screws. The 4 screws are going to be right here. You'll see one on the other side as well that corresponds. And then the 2 up top right next to the screen, there and there. This whole thing should just easily pull off. What this will reveal for us is the harness that we'll have to tie in our new HigherVoltageMoto harness. You're going to start off by removing this clip. And then in the harness, you'll see the corresponding male and female parts. You just plug those in. Blackout switch, you just want to grab that from here. Plug this in here in the bullet connector, and then you'll see the other corresponding end. And that'll go in here again. Make sure you hear that click. Your wiring loom, you're going to route it along the frame. Run it into this cable management here that the rear brake goes along, and then tuck it down behind the controller. And the rest of the wires are going to sit and kind of bunch down here in front of the motor. Do is completely remove these 4 controller bolts and then just loosen the 2 on this side. Once you've got those 4 removed, you should easily be able to tuck the harness in right here, grab the end of it, and then route it in between these 2 bolts and pull it through in the frame right here. And you should see all the connectors should fit perfectly through there. All right, before we mount the wheelie light, we're gonna run the wire properly. What you can do is remove all 6 screws that hold the controller to the frame to make it a little bit easier. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna pry it off a little bit and then tuck the wire through. If you wanna go that route, it's simple as this. Tuck it in here, pull it to here, take the pressure off there, and it should just be routed properly. And then we're gonna attach our 2 bolts down here at the bottom with the 4mm. And that's all it takes to do the wheelie light. These that were previous there, you're not gonna use anymore. What we're going to move on to is removing the side panel. You can start off by removing the 2 3mm bolts here on the side plastic. Once you got those out, you're going to move on to removing these 2 clips here. The best way to do this is just take a flathead screwdriver, get it underneath, and just kind of twist it. You'll see it pop up, and then you can just easily pull those out. The 2 down here, you'll see one right here and one right here as well. And then the final bolt holding the side panel on is just going to be this 5mm Allen right there. Just pops right off.
Just pops right off.
Now we're gonna come back to the wiring harness, properly route it. You're gonna follow these lines all the way, and we're gonna have all the wires sitting up here in this little nook behind that plastic piece we just removed. We'll come underneath the battery cradle, underneath this one here. Come through this little plastic portion, and then you can just follow your subframe. Pull it through here. We'll just leave this all right here for now though. Next step, wheelie light switch. I'm gonna take the connector, route it through this little piece. You'll see the switch has these 4 little clip retainers on it. Gently kind of push it right through. Once you get it in properly, you'll see all 4 kind of clip over the edge. It'll sit in there nice and doesn't move around when you pull the switch back and forth. Next step is just going to be properly routing this wire. The whole point of this is we want to make sure it's taut so it's not all drooping down here into your shock area. Have it run up, come nicely taut around this plastic, pull it down under the subframe and push it back through into this void right here. Grab one of your zip ties, come right into this little zip tie mounting piece right here. Bracket right here to put on a zip tie as well. And now we're going to come back to where all these plugs were from the main harness and the wheelie light. Push all these wires just right here into this void. Grab one of your other zip ties in your kit just to make sure everything's nicely cleaned up here. Just wrap it around the brake line. Next, we're gonna remove these 4 screws. This is gonna get us set up to install the taillight. It's gonna be a T30. And what that will do is it'll actually drop this X bracket that you'll see down here. In the kit, it's gonna come with 4 nuts. 2 of them are gonna be set here into the taillight. The other 2 you're gonna take, and you're just gonna screw them into these. Take the wire, come through this hole here so it comes up top. And these top screws are what will screw into the nuts that you see in the taillight. Brake light, brake light. Just plug these in. When you do it, make sure that you've got these pieces lined up so you don't screw the connector up. And you can take all your wires, just tuck them back into this void. We've also included some cable ties. You're gonna want it nice and tight along this so it doesn't ever get caught in the ledge.